Can you hear me? Well, I'm going to stop doing it. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, there we go. All right. Yo, you didn't even hear none of my oldies playing or nothing, huh? That's crazy.
Actually, I did. And then after you turned it off, it stopped.
Oh, okay. That's cool. All right, let's get ready to rumble. It's already live? What the fuck?
Who?
Wow, I guess I'm already live.
Oh. We sit there bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't even understand that part. Let me see something. Wow. Okay. I'm live for 3 minutes. All right, y'all. So, yeah, it's already live. All right, y'all, let me get this thing started. I didn't even know I was live yet. It's already live? What the fuck? Wow, I guess I'm already live.
Oh.
That's this, hold on, I'm trying to see. Okay, so that needs to go down right there. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, let me get this thing started. I didn't even know.
Okay. All right, let me get this shit started.
It's your boy, Big Cell, FHO's HNIC, Mr. Him Be Everywhere.
Hago con el AK para robar lo tuyo, convertir tus billetes en paca. Saca tu pistola, dame la excusa, pero hay que disparar antes que te mira Medusa. Esta rusa lo quita pa' protegerme, vivimos en guerra como los norteños y la MBM. Te deja los ojos grises, pa' abajo tierra, yo sigo fumando, sabo el diesel, que en mi tiempo va a llegar un día. Para ahora la motora corriendo con la guerrilla. Policía patrullando los proyectos, el que putadeo va a morir por ser poco insecto. Controlamos esto con puño de hierro, en la orilla me van a contestar los perros. Eso es lo más fuerte, suerte, buena van a necesitar. Estamos sueltos, venimos a matar, manito, ustedes como que quieren ver la muerte. Y sabiendo el peso lo más fuerte, suerte, buena van a necesitar. Estamos sueltos, venimos a matar, manica. The police coming straight from the barrio. I ain't hold pan, estoy aquí diario. Somos los asesinos y sicarios. Somos unos perros, somos los presas canarios. Perro, corriendo la carretera. Sacamos la que llenamos de hoyo la nubera. Este maleanteo ni que este tiraera. Y pa' este juego un micro está cortado con tijera. Ustedes son de esos, siempre están hablando paja. Y nosotros somos esos que la cara te la raja. Quiere guerra, huele bicho, toche pa' acá baja. Y te hacemos pedazos, escopeta y navaja. En mi cachata valor, te bota la pelota. La palabra en la calle que coopera y eres chota. Ten cuidado monito, te buscamos en la Dakota. Y sacamos con tenaza la lengua de tu bocota. Todos ustedes como que quieren ver.
It's the FHO Live Podcast, where the truth will be told. We promise you that.
Venimos a matar, manito, todos ustedes como que quieren ver la muerte. Y sabiendo el peso lo más fuerte, suerte, buena van a necesitar. Estamos sueltos, venimos a matar, manica. Mi clown, motherfucker. Me da mano negra. Los perros. Fenico wanna be.
You're listening to MC 101 Talk Show. Live. Hosted by Two Guns. Co-hosted by Big Cell. And we talking straight motorcycle protocol. Tune in every Wednesday around 7 p.m. for pure motherfucking facts on FHO Podcast Radio. MC 101, where motorcycling is life.
Say, man, we back on, man. We getting it in tonight. Hope everybody can hear me. What up? Hope everybody can hear me tonight. Everybody can hear my man Guns. Man, it's been 2 weeks. We've been gone. I had to take care of some family business. He had some other stuff going on. But we back, and I'm pretty sure with this topic tonight, y'all gonna be mad that he back. So let me say that right now, man. So, y'all love it when we here, and I think you love it more when we go. You understand me? But it is what it is, man. Girls, what's been going on with you, baby? What's been happening?
Man, I've been sick as a dog, man. Got that hat cough or whatever it is, and man, I had from walking pneumonia to back with the cough, so it just been chasing me for the last almost month. So it been the last couple days I kind of got over it, but still got a little bit of the cough left over. But I mean, it is what it is. This is how it is, I guess.
I think it probably got something to do with that hat, man. I'm just saying.
Oh man,
it might be. It might be all that dust and stuff in that man cave. You know, all that shit you got back. It might be all that, all that dust back up in there, man. So other than that, man, everything it's been what it's gonna be, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, for me, man, it's just been a long weekend, man. We had to go to take care of some family business, man. My auntie passed away, so I had to get my dad out there to Cali, man, and it was cool while I was there, occupying myself with some motorcycle stuff and just keeping my mind right, making sure my dad and my mom were, as well as they could be in good spirits and, the family as well. But I just want to give a shout out too real quick, man, to my auntie Lily, who always opens up her home and let us, come in there and crash and kind of have our way, man. And I want to say a special thanks to my dad too, man. My dad is an awesome dude. How he handles those type of situations and just how, as a man, homie, how he just, stays a man with it. I don't know if he ever breaks down. I'm pretty sure he does. But, just to see him, man, and have him as an example on how things should be is kind of cool for me. So him and my mom are both troopers, man. They both are troopers. So it is what it is. But we here, man. Tonight, man, MC 101. Don't forget, everybody, if you're listening to this, listen, we have a podcast platform that you need to support. We also are on YouTube, FHO Atlanta GA. Make sure you go support. And always remember, your donations is what keep all of this stuff moving, period. We cannot do this without your donations. We cannot stay on the air. We cannot stay doing this stuff without your donations and without your support. Please make sure you share the channel, tell a friend. MC 101, if you're not on that page, that's a Facebook page, MC 101 Tradition and Protocol, that is solely ran and hosted by my man Guns. Get on that page and stay up on, on motorcycle protocol. And again, the people that I'm talking to are the people that want a motorcycle at the highest level. If that's not your goal, if you just out here having fun, then this stuff might be boring to you. This might not be what you want to listen to. This might not be, the stuff that you care about. But if it is, in some kind of way, if however it is in some kind of way, man, then this is what the stuff you do. You share this, you tell a friend, and let's just all put this thing together, man. So real quick, run through some shout outs. Swift, New York. What up, both of y'all? Freedom, or Miss Kiana. Okay, there it is there. R. Caldwell, Joseph Fan, Monty Stevenson, KS Silverback. What up, Silverback? My man, nephew, K9. K9MC. Let me tell y'all about K9MC real quick. They up your way, too, I think. Guns, you ever seen K9MC up that way?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. K9MC, man, is a cool group of youngsters, man, trying to get it together. They trying to stay on point. And I'm not saying that they not on point now, so let me just say that. When I say trying to get it together, they're always trying to go to the next level. So shout out to K9MC. Shout out to the whole nation as they put it down.
Yeah, they got much love out there, man.
Yeah,
much love.
Yeah, there it is there. That's from Two Guns, man. Much love to K9MC. Juggy Bruce, Tamika Tillman. What up, Queenie Queen? Quincy Williams. Bam Bam of CPRMC. What it do? Who else we got? Houston Everett, what it do? Double O Drifters, what's happening? David Hill, Miss Pebbles, I see you. Houston Everett again. R. Caldwell again, I think. Mike Martin Sr., Big Sarge, what's up, man? He said, "What up to you, two guns?" DML, Anita Sheffield, Tony M, Dennis Price, Warren Charlie. What up, man? One of the baddest. I got FHO on here deep. Warren Charlie V, FHO. Warren Charlie is FHO. V is FHO. Unforgiven Prophet, Del Sol Williams, DML Cowboys, Earl Caldwell again, Slick Cods, Block Abuse. What up, Block Abuse? LA Lucky. What's up, my man Lucky? I didn't get a chance to peep you out, man, but I'm gonna get to you. That chili looked off the chain. My man made some vegan chili. You know, I don't know. Y'all should be trying to, this old vegan stuff. Y'all, I don't know, man. I ain't got with it yet. Ain't no such thing as fake, but, y'all be making it look real good. Unforgiven Prophet, Takeoff TG. I hope that's Takeoff 7 TG. Hope that's Thunder Guards. Juice Jones, CL Stanford, and it is what it is, man. So good morning, everybody. I mean, good afternoon, good evening, good day, whatever it is for you, wherever you're at, man. On Facebook, Bo Prayers, Yarley Hines, Percy Pooh Daddy Richard. What up, Pooh? My man Pooh, man, real solid dude. Been solid from day one, man, for real. We didn't have our ups and downs, but we didn't end up working it out. G Mike, Roderick Collins, my dad, Victory Turner. What's up, Dad? Alfred RB, Al Greer, J.S. Brown, Oscar De Jesus. What's up, Oscar? Who we got? Isis Johnson. What's up, Miss Isis? Greg Dahl. What's up, Greg? Angela Exquisite Lee, J.S. Brown, Hershey Rare Breed. What up, Hersh? Derek, Scott Roberts, Jersey Rider. What up, Jersey? Linton Williams, D-Ray Owens, my man D-Ray Owens. What up, D-Ray? Out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Darnell Johnson, Mad Raiders, Isaac, Ike Davis. What up, Ike? Another FHO in the building, my man Ike Davis. So it is what it is, man. We on tonight. So, Two Guns, you picked this topic. I'm going to let you explain this topic, and I'm going to let you get into this topic, man, and we're going to see where you go with this topic. The topic tonight is support or supporting. Do you have to? And I'm going to let him get into this thing and explain it, and we're going to jump into it. Again, thank everybody for tuning in, man, and thank y'all for hanging in there. It is Wednesday night MC 101 with my man Two Guns, real solid cat, and I'm your co-host, your boy Big Cell, super solid cat. You know what I'm saying? Despite what you say, it is what it is, man. Certified out here in these motorcycle streets, man. So it is what it is. What we got, Two Guns? Let's go.
Well, the first thing, the reason why I wanted to talk about it, there was a couple times it came on some things with support. And, I give my perspective on how it was growing up in the 70s and to understand how I addressed it and looked at support. And then the transition of what support is now. And so one of the things that I was taught early age now, when I came up in Oakland, I came up around, East Bay, I came up around Chosen, I came up around these guys. These are the guys that I saw on the streets riding. My family came up in the same era. They was more towards Palo Alto areas, Stockton, and areas around there. But we lived in Oakland, and I lived off of Foothill. So a lot of my transition in Oakland, living off Foothill, and a lot of information that I understood came from one of the dominants, one of the 1% dominants, and they are one of the biggest known 1%ers in the world, period. So a lot of the general information that I learned from my family came through those channels. And one of the things that they told me that inevitably when I came into my nation, my former nation, was 100% accurate, it was 100% true. And the first thing is you don't surround yourself with a bunch of people that you can't trust 100%. And that's where, in a lot of cases, you look at support versus supporting. And so back in the days, you didn't hear or didn't see a lot of people that was, per se, support or supporting, because 1%ers and outlaws didn't allow that around them. The more people that you have, and this is just some pimp player shit right here, just so y'all understand. The more people you have around you, the more people that are going to be talking to the police when the motherfuckers start coming at them. So you limit yourself with the amount of people that you have around you. And when I came into my former nation, it was a situation where they were just coming out of a big, huge situation or a big, huge issue, and had spent the last legitimately 15 years doing the same thing. So when I came into my former nation, one of the general rules was we don't have support. And we don't have support because we don't let motherfuckers that close to us. So that's how I was raised up around support. So when I look at support,
wait. So when you're saying supporting, when you're speaking on support right now, you're speaking on as in support clubs or support having another club or nation attached to your nation. Is that what you're speaking?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's what, when we looked at support, like Texas is a great example. Texas has a huge conglomerate of support clubs that specifically are attached to the dominant. That's it. They don't really fuck around with a lot of the people. They don't really deal with a lot of people. They deal directly with themselves. And they're 1% dominant club. In a lot of cases, a lot of people would say they're kind of outlaws to the 1% clubs. And some of them are. Some of them carry an outlaw ranking. Some of them carry an outlaw status. Other ones, they don't. Like, I know my former nation, we actually first initially started one in 2013, I believe it was. It was the first support club in the history from 1969. Because, again, they never allow anybody that close to the nucleus. Because the more people that you have close to you, the more people that you have that can be witnesses. And so you don't want to have those processes, especially in the 1% world. Now, we're talking 70s, 80s. Now we're addressing the 2000s. And when we look at the 2000s, a lot of things have changed. You know, we're talking the separation between legal and illegal activities. So when you look at it, you say, what is the real reasoning behind having a support club or having a support of club? And so when I talk about this, I always talk about support of. Support of is somebody that is in line with the 1% dominant. They are specifically associated with the 1% dominant, and they don't really have any other avenues or any other situations outside of it. Those clubs that are support of, they are there for a specific reason because they have individuals that want to support the 1% dominant. They want to be a part of this. They want to be around the 1% dominant. And that's understandably, that's one of the aspects that I think gets confused when you're talking about support of, and then you talk about clubs that are supporting the dominant club. And so that's where I wanted to kind of transition this and kind of go around it with it, because there is kind of a separation between a support of and then clubs that are actually supporting. And then what has transitioned now and what I see in the COCs and what I see in a lot of these other different factions where clubs that want to be a part of the motorcycle community are almost at a point where they don't have any other choice but to either be a support of or supporting the club. And in a lot of cases, it doesn't work out. And the reason why it doesn't work out is because really all they want to do is just ride their motorcycles and have brotherhood. They don't really want to get involved with all the political stuff that happens. And I think that's where, as dominants, we have to separate that, because when you come into our world, there's politics and there's political shit that happens within our worlds that you don't want to have everybody, one, a part of, but two, if an individual doesn't want to be a part of that, then you have to look at it as this going to be something that's productive for you or supportive of you, or is this going to be something that a club feels like, well, I don't have any other choice but to actually support this club to exist. And so that's kind of where I'm going with this and where I want to kind of, get a little bit more into it.
All right, well, let me say this. Just listening to everything you said. Again, the more people you have around you, the more people that can tell, what went on, what didn't go on, the whole 9 yards. So I got you on that. But this whole support thing, to me, it makes no sense based on the fact that if you're not on my club level, okay, if you're not strong enough as a person yet, or in your motorcycle, your motorcycle schooling, to be on my level, to be on that level, then what good is having you as a support club? I mean, because if you're going to walk like us, talk like us, look like us, hang around us, and be like us, then you might as well be us. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to break that down and get into the real whole premises of a support club. The second thing of it is to answer your question, I'm going to kick this shit off right from the rip, is the support shit has grown to where it's grown now. And you mentioned the COCC, and I can mention the Georgia Council and the rest of all of this other bullshit that's going on. The reason why it is where it is now is because of the dollar. It's all about the dollar now. A lot of the OMCs, they see the money that's being made from the 99% side. You feel what I'm saying? They see the fun that the 99% side is having. They see the females on the 99% side. and they can't get to it because those people don't come to their world. So what they do is they come up with all of these support this, support that. You got to be attached to this. You got to come over here on certain days and this and that. So that now you have to pay us, to be a support club. You pay a percentage of your club dues or your club membership. Then the other part of it is now we got access to your women. Now we get to see, all of it. It's a lot of BS going on, man, when it comes to this stuff. And I know I don't mean to step on nobody's toes, and I'm not trying to bring, to cause no drama, but y'all know I keep it 100. This whole support shit then got so watered down because it's about money and pussy. That's it. That's all.
I mean, when I look at it, see, again, I address it on what I learned and where I grew up at. And a lot of the stuff that I grew up on was on the white side of the tracks. And in all honesty, I'll just be honest with you, they don't play in those fields like that. You're not gonna see on the white side a lot of the separation. Those clubs that are aligned or associated with them, they are aligned and associated with them. That means that if you go, we go. Now, that's a motto I always say, is you go, we go. And so what that means is that they have an investment in this club, they have an investment in the dominant, and they have chosen to be a part of this. And I mean, you're right on it. And the first thing I will say, and I will address this, and this is one of the things I think is kind of tossed around when we get on these these topics, and then we start talking about this, and you have other people talk about it, and then all of a sudden you'll have other pages that are talking about it. So the main aspect that I always tell people is what you do in your area is what you do in your area. That doesn't necessarily mean that your area is the way that it's done. The main problem that we have, and I'm going to say this real talk, the main problem that we have in this world right now is that we have one side that'll say, well, we're going to do it this way. And then you have the next state that will say, well, we're not going to do it that way. We're doing it this way. And the bad part about it is that you have nations that are doing it one way in one state, and in the next state, the same nation is doing it another way. So there's no inner workings. There's no networking that addresses that this is the way we're going to do it. And it's one of the reasons why we have so much issues now is because what you do in North Carolina, you may not do in South Carolina. What you're doing up in Philly, you ain't doing it in New York. What you're doing in the Midwest, you're not doing it there. And let's not even talk about down south. And then we go back over to the West Coast, and it's completely different. So when we look at it in the whole, the main aspects of support and understanding what support of is, the support of clubs should be specific to the dominant. That's it. But what's happened now is, again, these clubs, exactly what you're saying, are being brought into this dominant world. And whether it's just the money aspect of it, or whether it's the party aspect, or whether it's whatever's happening, a lot of these clubs really don't want to be a part of this. They don't want to have anything to do with the dominance other than, hey, we want to exist in your realm and on your, in your community, in your area, and we just want to do our own thing. And a lot of times, I'll get side notes and stuff like that where people ask me questions. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell you, when they start talking about support, the first thing they're saying is we feel like we're being, forced to be a support of a club, and we don't even, we're not built like that. But the next thing that's the problem is, say you have one club that wants to kick off and they want to start a chapter in another state. So say they're starting a chapter in North Carolina, and they got people that's in Virginia, they got people that's in here. If the dominant comes out and says, well, you have to support us in order for you to exist here, what are they supposed to do in those other states? Because in those other states, they've already developed those relationships. They may be, I hate to say it, I know a club that was like this, where in one state they were attached to one dominant, and in the other state, the other dominant wanted them to be attached to them, and now you got the same club, same nation, with 2 dominants that are pulling at them and wanting them to be supported. And they're trying to tell them, like, we're not trying to get involved in that. All we're trying to do is exist in this new city that we're trying to kick off. This is what's happening out there, and that's where I look at it and say we have to separate support of and then people that are actually supporting the dominant. Because if you support, real quick, if you support of, you shouldn't be fucking with nobody else. So if you supporting the Marlins, if you supporting them, you better not be supporting nobody else because we got an issue with that. We got a problem with that. So now all of a sudden, this club that's our support club, our support of, they should only have alliance and allegiance with us. And that creates issues when you have individuals that are on the other side that are just trying to support, enjoy themselves, have a good time, just try to exist in this community, and they're being told that you have to support us or you cannot exist.
Well, that's one of the things, and that's what I'm telling you. That's one of the whole things. I've seen this shit, y'all. And I'm not just telling y'all this shit. I've seen where a club, I'm just gonna use Atlanta, have this support patch on, but another chapter of the same club has a whole different support patch on from a whole different OMC. That is to me the most ignorant shit ever. You feel what I'm saying? And this is my thing too. This is another part. How do you expect a person that's not invested into motorcycling like you are invested? How do you expect a person who's not going to walk away from everything like you will because that's the commitment you made? How do you expect them to rock out with you when it's time to rock out, if you ever have to rock out? And how do you expect a nonviolent person to be violent? What Guns said is that when you force people to choose instead of having the free will, or, you force them to be a part of it, and you tell them they have to do this and they have to do that, and all they want to do is ride their motorcycle, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for whatever happens, and you're setting yourself up to be told. You're actually bringing in your defendant, or your accused, not your defendant, but your witness, your accuser. You're bringing them in.
Sure.
Because these people have not made that type of commitment. Now, the other thing that I've seen, and I'm gonna say this, and again, no disrespect, y'all know we keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. I've seen people with support patches on get their ass beat by a whole nother club, and the people that they had the support patch on didn't do nothing about it.
Oh, turn it back.
Because let me tell you something, and I would say this, and I'm gonna let Guns get. If you think anybody, any 99% club, if you think that the club that you supporting are gonna come and take on your fight and jeopardize their life, jeopardize their livelihood, their life, jeopardize their freedom for you, who is not committed as them, then you're a damn fool. And I'm gonna throw it back to you.
That's one of what you just said is one of the lessons that I always say this, and I always address this when people talk about support clubs. And I say this, it's right on line what you said. If you're not ready to defend that club against everybody else, then you shouldn't even address them in that manner. And if you were dominant and then you just going out there and somebody got an issue with this club because they're wearing your sport patch, and then you're fighting or taking on that fight, you're going to find out how fast that you're going to be fighting everybody. Because when you look at it, if you're not vested and this club is not vested in you 100%, there's no telling what will happen or what can go on with that process. I mean, the next thing you know, you might have an event, and here's another one. And this is one of the ones that one of the OGs taught me, man. This guy taught me, he was in Florida, man. I'll tell you, it was 2009. And he came to me and he was like, support club for one of the dominants came to me and they was like, yo, why don't you come hang out with us or whatever it is, we see you on the set, come hang out with us. So I went and hung out, and my man walked up. Now, we've been chopping it up. We've been talking about old school shit. He looking at me, he started laughing. And I was just kind of like looking at him like, hey, what the fuck you laughing at? And he said, no, I'm looking at you and I'm wondering what the fuck is you doing talking with a support club when you already understand so much more than what they can provide for you. And he said, but I'm going to tell you this, man. I'm going to tell you this 100%. He said, this is where it comes down to it. He says, I don't trust anybody but my brothers. He said, even these support guys. He goes, but the guys that are associated with my nation and associated with my club, they've already passed the test. They've already been tested and they're true. And I know that they'll go to war. They'll be there for us when this happens. He goes, but until you pass that test, I don't trust you because I don't know you. And guess what? These support clubs And guess what happens? And guess what happened to my former nation? So they had some support dudes that was hanging out. They had some dudes that was kind of chilling. The next thing you know, they introduce somebody to introduce somebody. Next thing you know, they got a whole chapter of fucking feds.
Wow.
And that's the way it kind of works itself out, is you get people that's around you, support clubs and stuff like that, and the next thing you know, they get infiltrated. They got cops in their ranks. They might start up a whole fucking chapter of support for a dominant club, just trying to get close enough to the dominant club to see what the fuck is going on. And guess what? You don't know who the fuck it is, because if you not vested, these motherfuckers ain't vested, you ain't did your due diligence.
Period.
Just because a motherfucker giving you $25 a month or $50 a month or whatever it is, all they doing and all that is right there is fucking evidence. And if you don't fucking know it, that's just stupid. It's fucking evidence. Because the second that they come out and say, these motherfuckers extorting us to exist on the site, whatever it is, and they paid you any money or giving you any money, guess what? That's evidence. Now, whether you get convicted of it or whatever it is, that's completely different. But what they're trying to do with it, and what they do with it is it's called RICO. So what they're doing is they are building a case against you. And so that's the reason why, and one of the things that I wanted to put out, I wanted to really address is, you can't just be bringing these motherfuckers into your network. Because when you bring motherfuckers into your network, all it does is allow that net to get wider and wider. And it lets law enforcement slide in there. And once they slide in there, it's just like the motherfuckers found out in New York when all that shit happened with that dude that ran up on the side of the car, ran the dude over. Next thing you know, 4 cops. They find out whole motherfucking club was nothing but fucking cops riding in the mix with other clubs and hanging out, going to parties, doing all this shit. And guess what they was doing the whole time? Building a fucking case.
Collecting evidence.
Collecting evidence. And that's all they're doing. Every time you at your clubhouse smoking weed, collecting evidence. Every time you're at your clubhouse and you smoking weed and all of a sudden you give somebody weed in states that are not legal and you give it to somebody else and you know, you just like, yo, let me get a joint, man. Hey, guess what you just did? Now you just gave them something. So there's evidence. They're building evidence. I'm telling you this for a fact because I saw it happen to my former nation where the smallest of bullshit went on and the dude spent 4 years fighting the fucking case. Because he went to a party where there was a bunch of fucking support clubs, and the support clubs for that fucking dominant, supposed to be these support clubs, but these support clubs are paying, it was all of them were fucking feds. And all of them were building cases on that club, and he ended up getting pinched in with all the rest of them. And that's where I tell people, you got to be careful bringing all these people into your network, because ultimately anybody that you bring in your network is a potential witness.
Wow. Shout out to my man Frederick Mayo for the donation. Appreciate you, Mr. Frederick Mayo. Let me tell y'all something, man. I want you to hear what's being said tonight, and I want you to understand this. In place right now, these different factions and whoever's in control are putting in place where the 99 percenters have to be up under the umbrella of a 1 percenter. And a lot of the 99 percenters, not so much that they don't like it, but they don't even understand the severity of it. They don't even understand how much of it that they're involving themselves in. Not only that, but in a 99% world, it's not that serious to bring in a member. We're not doing background checks. We're not doing, documentation of who you are and the whole 9 yards. So it's crazy how you want to be in your own world and you want to be behind closed doors, but then when you attach these support clubs, you feel what I'm saying? Now the door is wide open because now they have to know so much about you and whatever you know about them per se, but then their membership regulations are not as strenuous as yours. The other part of it is I've seen this happen, Guns. I've seen a club recruit 2 or 3 law enforcement officers in their club so that the dominant will leave them alone about being a support club.
Man, we ain't gonna get into that one. Now, I mean, I'm gonna say it like this. Now, I understand where the dominants are going at in terms of necessarily the umbrella. Now, I can understand what we're addressing that, but you can't it can't be an umbrella that's a forced umbrella. It has to be an umbrella that says these individuals want to be a part of that. So you have to understand that when they become a part of your support of, they should not have no alliances, no allegiance with any other groups. And that's where, what are you doing with your community? Because say you do this, and say you do umbrella this. So now these guys can't even throw a good party or do what they have been doing and making the money that they're making, like you're talking about, bringing the pussy in, bringing everything else in, because now you just limited their pool. Because they can't go and say, I don't want to throw out no names, but they can't say such and such club, y'all come to my party. Such and such club, y'all come to my party. Y'all come to my party. Because guess what? This club might be aligned with this club. This club might be aligned with that club. As long as everybody's, hey, Dominus, if we all want to get together and sing Kumbaya and don't have no issues and no problems with each other and don't have an issue or problem with our support clubs talking to other support clubs, if we want to get together and do that, then that is going to be good for the community because we're all aligned together. We're all together on the same page. We're not at war with each other. We're not fighting each other. We're not having issues with each other. We can coexist. And that whole process that's trying to be done, it could work because we don't have any separation from that. We're all getting along. We can all party with each other. We can all enjoy each other. But as long as this club is not good with that club and this club is not good with this club, that don't work. And guess what? It really don't work if it's good in Atlanta, but it's not good in North Carolina. It ain't going to be good if it's here and it is good over there. So it has to be something that is across the United States and overseas, all the rest of that. We all get together, kumbaya, do our thing like they did in Jacksonville, Florida, and we coexist together. Then that works. But as long as it's a situation where we still have animosity or issues or problems, or we don't want to coexist with each other, then you having a specific support network and then addressing that and saying the only way that you can exist within this community or in this area or in this state is if you are in line with us. Because once you start doing that, now it's a situation where you just limited your pool anyway. So the money that you thought you was going to make or the money that you could make or the money that you possibly could bring in on the 99 side, because you're 100% right. In a lot of cases, that's really where it's at. The networking, building in, bringing in the money, bringing in the thing. Y'all come to our party, we go to your party, we do all this stuff. All that really is just a big sponsorship of making a little bit of extra money and us not out there slanging and doing all the rest of the shit that was happening in the 70s and 80s. Hey, I'm all for that shit, whatever it is, because I'd rather have us having families and brotherhoods and getting together and doing shit than have motherfuckers going to jail and having drugs and all the rest of that shit in our communities, because that shit's fucked up. But when it comes down to it, and what I want to address is it has to be a choice in the matter. It can't be you exist in our issue. Now, this is my perspective. I'm not telling Dominus what to do, and 100% I'm not even getting there. My perspective is the only way that we can survive in this situation is it has to be something that they say, yes, I want to be a part of your nation. They understand that if they are part of your nation, they shouldn't have any alliance or allegiance with anybody else. Last thing that you want to have is an individual at your party that is your support club going back and having a conversation with another 99% about what you do in your business that is aligned with the opposite nation. Because now, if you have a support club and you guys are going to get together and you guys are going to do a group ride, all of a sudden, a phone call is made, and then all of a sudden, another phone call is made. And shit, somebody ends up at somebody's place, or somebody ends up in a location where somebody was doing a ride, wondering what the fuck is going on. Well, guess what? Every time you bring in another motherfucker, you just brought in another motherfucking witness.
There it is there, man. Shout out to my man Bam Bam from Capital Punishment Riders, MC Maryland. Appreciate your donation. Say, man, I hope y'all hearing what's being said. And again, it's no play on, again, I'm going to say this disclaimer. If we didn't say your name, if I didn't say your club, if we didn't say you specifically, we ain't talking about you. We talking about them. So, you know what I'm saying? Always understand. If I want to say your name, I will. I have no problem with saying your name. It is what it is. But we're just trying to get an understanding of what's going on right now. A lot of people are confused about support clubs. A lot of people are confused about the whole aspect of when you put these patches on these support patches and how they work and the whole get out. And we're going to get into that, man. Right now, we're going to pay some bills. My man, Two Guns, you're listening to MC 101, man. Y'all stay tuned, man.
Select Luxury Cars, proud sponsor of the FHO Podcast Live Show, the most diverse luxury vehicle selection in the greater Atlanta area, the highest quality customer service, and unmatched nationwide pricing. Contact Mike Goodall at 678-855-2292 to schedule your appointment today. Select Luxury Cars, trusted family dealer since 1994. Big Sergeant Adam Mac Harley Davidson. In honor of Iron Elite 2020, present a tribute to Black History, February 15th, 2020. Hosted by Big Sarge. From 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. There will be gift certificates for Most Rep Club, Best Dressed Harley, and the loudest pipes. Not to mention, plenty of food, drinks, and vendors. Music provided by Fleet DJ Zone, DJ Memphis. That's February 15th. 11 a.m. Adam Mac Harley Davidson, located at 8909 Bay Meadows Road, Jacksonville, Florida, 32256. This event is open to the public, and all are welcome. For more info, go to AdamMacHarleyDavidson.com. Eco One, the superior eco-friendly motorcycle and auto detailing spray. Eco One super wetting and low foaming polymer technology cleans by flowing underneath the dirt particles and lift them away from the surface. All you need to do is spray, wipe, and watch the amazing shine appear. All of this is done with very little time and effort, but the results look like you spent all day waxing your vehicle. Eco One. Don't ride dirty. It's the Queens of the South Motorcycle Club, and they want you to know it's 2020, and they are taking over Central Florida the weekend of April 17th through the 19th. All chapters will be present from Charlotte and Fayetteville, North Carolina, to Houston and Dallas, Texas, along with Birmingham and Huntsville, Alabama, and last but never least, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They bound coast to coast and have no boundaries as the riding never stops. Come out and celebrate starting Friday night, meet and greet, and Saturday, grill and chill block party from 4 p.m. until with your favorite queen. For hotels and more info, contact Queen Handful at 407-314-9360. Queen Takeoff at 619-886-9711 or Queen Double Scoop at 404-637-9900. Montana Cigar Company sells premium cigars and accessories. Located in Union City, Georgia at 4641 Flat Shoals Road, Suite C, Union City, Georgia 30291. Montana Cigar Company offers a smooth, laid-back, serene, mature adult environment for cigar aficionados. Discounts for all the first responders, military, teachers, and nurses. Come enjoy your favorite games and boxing matches on our big screen TVs. We also have a poker table where you can come and try your luck.
What's up? It's your girl, Lil Tigger. I'm chilling with my boy, Big Sale, and you're listening to FHO Podcast Radio.
What's up, Big Sale? This is your boy, Pastor Nate from Enlightened Ministry Biker Church from Los Angeles, California. When we're not riding, we listen to FHO Podcast Radio.
Yo, man, it's your boy Big Sarge from Florida Chapter Soul Brothers, man. Y'all know how I get down. I'm always listening to my man, Big Sale from FHO Podcast Radio. He keep it motorcycling.
Checking in from an undisclosed location. This is your boy King Pooh, representing the Kings of the South Atlanta Mother Chapter. And every time I get a chance, best believe I'm listening to my boy Big Sale on FHO Podcast Radio. Let's get it.
What up, y'all? This Big Punch from the motherfucking candy shop. We chilling over here with Big Seal, man, the FHONICKEMMY, man, you know what I mean? All them alphabets, man. But they got all that shit going. Holla.
What up? I listened to my Uncle Big Seal in the FHO Radio.
It's the FHO Live Podcast. where the truth will be told. We promise you that.
God damn. Hey, it's Big Cell. What that mouth do besides tell the truth on FHO Podcast Radio.
All right, man, we back. I got my man Guns over there. I'm sorry, my man Two Guns on here. It's Wednesday night, MC 101. Tonight we're talking about the effects and the do's and the goods, the bads, the uglies of the supporting and or to support these support clubs that are out there, and how forcing anybody to do anything will never end up being good for anybody. If you force your wife to love you, or you force your wife to do whatever, or your kids, sometimes you got to beat the kids, but that's another subject for another day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to wring their neck. But anyway, forcing somebody on the MC set to do something, to motorcycle or to do something is not a good thing, because all you do is you're storing up people with animosity, and you're making people, the first chance they get or they have to stand on it, they will not stand at all. So I want to say this, and I'm going to get right back into you. The biggest thing to me, and I want you guys to understand this, the biggest thing about being a motorcycle club, this whole thing about being a motorcycle club, was that you were supposed to be able, you and your club brothers or club sisters, are supposed to be strong enough to stand on your own, period. You have to be able to do that first before you can say we want to exist. Let's understand what I'm saying now. A lot of you guys are out here on the motorcycle set. You in the world and you in the way because you're not into this thing as you should be. You don't know who your club brothers are. You don't know who your club sisters are. You don't even know what they stand for. You don't even know. Have you ever asked them, hey, man, if we get into an altercation, are you with it, or, you're going to go the other way? And this is the stuff that's going on now, and these are the things and the reason why we're having this topic, because you're making people support you that were never cut out to be on the level that you're on. So when it goes down, if it ever has to go down, then you're upset because they didn't stand strong. But they were not strong from the beginning. Turning it back over to you, Guns. Where we at?
The main aspect that, like historically, when you look at clubs, when they came into existence, you had the specific clubs, and they would legitimately come into existence, and they were built. And so in old days, a lot of clubs didn't come in with 10 members or 8 members or 20 members. Some of these clubs nowadays, man, they pop up on the set, 15 members. Guys just got together from this club, that club, this club, everybody talked together, and all of a sudden they started something else. So that's not historically how it used to go. Historically how it went is individuals got together, got fired together, all of a sudden they built. So the dominance was watching you the whole time. They just like looking at you like, okay, what you doing? So once you get to the point where the dominant felt like you was at that level, then the transitions kind of started. So you might get an offering, we want you to come in, we want you to be a part of the support system, be around the support system. Here is the criteria for you to be a part of the support system. Now, I'm going to just say it like this, man. We understood this and we found this out in the 80s and the 90s with the Florida Wars. We found it out in Waco, Texas, where we understood that supports and dominance and issues happened where supports ended up being intermixed in with the dominance, and a lot of situations happened and people got hurt and people got killed. And when you look at it and you look at when you address support of, and this is where I always talk to people about support of, you are support of the dominant club. So you are right-hand man with the dominant club. You understand by putting on that patch and having that alliance and that allegiance that when shit hits the fan, you right there with a broom, or you right there, with it. Supporting a club and supporting a dominant club is completely different. You can support a dominant club by coming to their events, hanging out, doing this. You don't have any secondary alliances or allegiance with them, but you support them in terms of just going to their events and enjoying yourself, having a good time. You're not aligned with them. You don't have to deal with any of the rest of the politics associated with them, and you're not expected to. You know, something happens, you're not expected to be a part of that. And that's the big difference, and that's one of the things that has to be understood within this is, and I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to put it like this. This is just some real talk. I had a motherfucker that I came into this bar, and he had on a pen that what the pen meant to me, actually what the pen actually means is that he's supposed to take care of business if he sees me. That's legitimately what the pen means. So when I looked at him, I said, yo, what the fuck is up with that pen? And he was like, he goes, what do you mean? I go, what the fuck is up with the pen? You tell me what the fuck is up with the pen, because I know what the fucking pen means, but you don't know what the pen means. So what the fuck is up with the pen? And long story short, allegedly, I left with the pen. Okay? What the pen was to me... Allegedly. So what the pen was to me and what that pen actually means, so you guys understand, is that he's supposed to fuck me up on sight. That's wearing that pen and wearing that support meant that he was supposed to fuck me up on sight because of my former nation. He had absolutely no fucking clue whatsoever what that pen meant. It was given to him by somebody that was a 1%er that was in that club, and it was given to him without any information, without any knowledge. These people running around and wearing these support of shirts or wearing these support of patches. And then the next thing you know, a motherfucker come in and say, yo, the fuck is you wearing that support of? Because when you wear a support of patch, that means that anybody that is in direct conflict with your dominant club, that means that you're supposed to fucking take care of business. Real talk. That's what a support of patch means. So that's the problem I have when I see a lot of dominants that are tossing these support patches on these clubs, because that means a whole different level to some people, man. You put that support patch on them, it's exactly what you said. Now all of a sudden they get their color snatched, allegedly upside down in somebody's fucking clubhouse, and you're supposed to defend them. You're supposed to go and you're supposed to get them fucking colors back because they are support. So if you're not willing and ready to do that, then you shouldn't be requiring them to actually be a part of your support network. Because when you put that patch on them, and when you say you are now our support club, that means that they are aligned with you and aligned with you only. I've said this 3 or 4 times, but I want to emphasize that. And that's the separation. I see it too many times. Now, what I've seen in the transition, what's happening now is they're not putting the support patches on them. They're just saying you're supportive and you got to be a part of this or whatever it is. But the rules and regulations are not being passed down. So they're saying you're supportive and you're going to be supportive of this and this and that. But the next thing you know, they're mad because they see one of your members hanging out with the other club or another club.
Let me ask you this quick. So, yeah. When you rock a support club of a dominant, then you're not allowed, or technically, according to the rule, you're not allowed to rock with any other 99% club that is the opposite of your dominant?
No.
Okay.
If you got a support of club and that club is your support, they shouldn't be fucking with any other dominants. They shouldn't have nothing to do with that. Shouldn't have any alliances or allegiances with any other club that has anything to do with a dominant. Because when you do that, you set yourself up for fucking failure. So it's exactly what I said. Next thing you know, you out on a ride, and you done fucking told your support club where you going and come hang with us, and next thing you know, a motherfucker show up. Why? How he find out? Well, he found out because you got so many fucking loose lips that your ships is about to sink. And that's just real talk. But that's one thing that a lot of people is not understanding about this whole support network and support system is those support systems weren't designed for pussy. And those support systems weren't designed to make money. Those support systems were designed to bolster, to facilitate, to help, to be a part of that networking, to grow as a big family. That's what those systems were set up for, support of. They were never designed to worry about, well, this club is not aligned with us, but they come and support us. But yeah, you can't fuck with them because it's like this. Now, I'm not saying that that's the way that things are, because there are some areas where there are some dominants that are supported by one club, and they go into other clubs and hang out with other clubs, and they go and they do this and they go and do that. Hey, that's the way it should be. But if in your area, if that situation's happening, all I'm trying to say to you guys in those areas is you got to be careful what you're doing, because you're creating you're creating a situation where eventually it's going to create a conflict of interest with your people associating with other dominant clubs. You don't ever want to have that much information about your club being presented across a whole different dynamics. Because if you got 20 support clubs, because you're telling those support clubs that you need to be a supporter of us, that's 20 fucking clubs with 5 members. That's 100 motherfuckers that are witnesses. And that's just not what it is, man. That's not what it's about. We have to be able to be close-knit. We got to be able to do that. But the main thing it comes down to, and what I want to address is, as the 99 and as individuals that love to ride motorcycles, the only thing that we should legitimately be worrying about is riding fucking motorcycles. That's what we should be worried about. We shouldn't be worried about, well, this club wants me to support them, or they want us to support them, but we can't support them because we have friends in this club, and all of a sudden it becomes a point you're just sitting there like, oh, fuck, man, you know? And it's the reason why we lose a lot of people to independent riders. It's the reason why we have a lot of independent riders. It's the reason why I was a fucking independent rider for damn near 20 fucking years, because I didn't want to deal with the bullshit politics associated with the MC set. I mean, that's just real talk.
All right, so when it comes to supporting, like it's on this bike set, okay, and when it comes to wearing those patches, and you know, they're forcing this issue on people, saying, hey, you have to be aligned with this and you have to be aligned with that. I would love to get, if any of my dominants are listening, I would love to get you on the show as well, to get your take on it and get your understanding on it, because there is a confused state of mind, and it's confused right now, especially on the bike set, because you got people walking around with the patches, but you got them walking around like regular people, you know, like, in other words, here, put this on, don't worry about it, and you can go where you want to go and do what you want to do. But that's really not the case. I'm telling you, it's really not the case. So because you haven't been approached yet, or because you have this, and then I've even heard some instances where you have to wear it for a year, then after that, you know, you guys are good to go, you know, and whatever it may be, you know, I don't know. It's so many different stories being told, and so many different things are being done about the support patch, that it's still a crazy thing. Now, I know certain clubs have come up with ways to where if you as a regular common person don't know what that support patch look like, then you won't know what it, you don't want to know what it is. But those who do know, they do know. And you guys just heard Gunn say, by wearing certain patches and pins, that means you are my enemy. And we are supposed to be at each other, like he says, on site. And here it is, you're walking around, you know, because you're a club president or, you know, VP. Hey man, we got to put these on in order to exist. Because that's what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are wearing support patches because that was the only way that they can get their club to exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to understand what you're giving up and what you're getting yourself into in order to exist. In order just to be on the bike set, in order to be recognized, in order to be, you know, whatever it is you're looking for on the bike set, it's not worth the support patch. And again, if that's what you're doing in your area, so be it. Do not get your head busted to white meat by going in the morning and taking all your patches off and throwing them down at your dominant feet. That ain't what Big Sale is telling you. That's not what Two Guns is telling you. We're just giving you, what we're giving you is we're giving you the opportunity to know and to understand and to even ask your dominants, hey, really, what does this mean for us? What is our rules? What is our parameters? And how do we deal with possibly now? I'm gonna say this too. Now,
Well,
this the bullshit. Let me say this real quick. This the bullshit. A lot of y'all don't have nothing to worry about because you're never leaving your area. Your motorcycle is a Metro. Your motorcycle is a Metro PCS bike. It won't go outside the. It won't go outside the area. So a lot of y'all will never ever have to worry about. You'll never have to worry about this being a situation. Never. So that's again a lot of y'all running around with it because it is what it is. But if you ever plan on riding your motorcycle, crossing state lines, going to different regions, going to different sectors, going to different parts of the world, you know, and exploring this MC thing, then a support patch may not be something that you really, really, really want to do. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing about it, you made this comment, man, but this is just a real talk, is, you know, again, you know, you said we're not telling you to throw any patch, take them off, none. But here's what the crazy thing is. If you, at this point, have to go to your dominant and ask him a question about what we're talking about, you get it, right?
You already too late.
You fucked up.
Yeah, it's already too late.
You fucked up because that should have been something that was addressed and it should have been talked about when it first started. And when they came to approach you about wearing this patch or whatever it is, because if the patch is the patch is there for you to exist, then that's not, because you have to understand what it's about, man. And I mean, you hit it 100%, man. It's like, guess what, man? You leave outside your area and you go outside your area and you got not even a support. I'm not talking about a support patch on your vest. I'm talking about you just got a shirt on. I mean, somebody put it on the post. You just got a shirt on. Guess what? I'll tell you this. Allegedly, I done bought a lot of shirts. I done bought a lot of shirts, okay? I'm going to just tell you that. And anybody in the Colorado area know I done bought a lot of motherfucking shirts. The thing that comes down to it that I address with is you have to have the understanding of what you're getting yourself into. I wrote something, and you guys go back to MC 101 and just put support. I wrote something on this, and what I addressed with it is that people are wearing patches and they have absolutely no understanding or knowledge of what the patch actually means. That's the first issue and the problem. But when you put that support thing on and you put that support patch on, that support shirt on, or that hat on, you are basically creating a target for it. And hey, if that's what you do and that's what you do and you want to wear your support shirts and stuff like that, man, that's all you, 100%. But understand what comes with it. Understand what you're getting yourself into, because ultimately, I just say it like this, man. I know somebody that actually got killed because of he was wearing a support patch. And great guy. He was a solid dude. And they didn't care nothing. They didn't care that he didn't have a bike. They didn't care that he wasn't aligned with the MC. They didn't care about none of that. All they cared about was the fact that he had a support shirt on and he was supporting the nation that they were at war with. And they had no qualms whatsoever shooting him right there, point blank range. Didn't even ask him other second questions, didn't care nothing about him. And that's why, I'm not trying to play the boogeyman aspect or the boogeyman role with it or whatever it is, but you have to understand what you're getting into. And then the dominants have to understand that if you're going to put these stipulations on people to say, you need to do this or you need to do that to coexist in this community, then there has to be an understanding that that individual club is now under your umbrella. They are legitimately your support club, and they shouldn't have any other. There should be rules and regulations associated with what's going on with that. But if we're doing that, what are we doing in the community? And what are we destroying the community by trying to do this, or are we uplifting the community by doing this? Now, if all of a sudden we have two dominants and each dominant is fighting for these different support clubs or these different support patches, even if they get along with each other, eventually that's going to create an issue when one dominant is all of a sudden, or, let's be honest, one dominant ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing, or one dominant ain't really, kind of a part of the process. And then the club goes, this other dominant told us this. And now all of a sudden they out there They're out there rooster chasing. So they're out there looking for the next one. They're out there looking for somebody. And then next thing you know, a whole damn, well, I can tell you, North Carolina, oh my goodness. Motherfuckers have just been 1 minute they this, next minute they that. Next minute they support of, next minute they support of. This is what I see out here right now, what I've seen out here within the last almost 2 years is equivalent to what you see overseas in the 1% ranks, where one club will be one club 1 week and the next week their ass is another club. And the opposite, and they was at war with each other last week. Now they wear the same patches. And I don't get that. I do not understand how you could be a support club of one dominant and then the next week you're a support club of the other dominant that you were at war with, or even worse than that, you were a support club of the dominant 1% club, and now you are a dominant 1% club fucking at war with that club. Like, how can that happen? And so when you look at that, you say, where are the legions? Where are the alliances? What are we doing with the whole support of theme? And that's where I always address, and I always have said this so many times, is there has to be clear defined lines of what support is. There's nothing wrong with having clubs coming to our clubhouses and supporting us and putting money in our coffers. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not a fan, but there ain't nothing wrong with it. That's what you do. That's what you do. But when you start to get to the point where you force them to be a part of your social network or your support network, you're opening two entities up that are not, they're going to end up colliding with each other, and they're going to end up creating a problem or issue. It's not even two, it's like three. One, they'll probably leave your ass at the first sign of any issues or problems whatsoever, and they don't even want to fuck with you no more. Now you got an issue with that club. They're not going to be loyal to you, so next thing you know, motherfuckers going to be showing up at areas where you're supposed to be at. Or three, you allow them to be infiltrated. Next thing you know, you got cops that are hanging out at your clubhouse under the guise that they're your support club. And I'm gonna tell you, man, this is honest truth. I'm gonna look right in the camera on this. Some of you dominants out there right now got support clubs that's full of fucking cops, full of them. They cops, corrections officers, they aligned, they snitches, they rats, they ICs. I mean, they got so many motherfuckers right now. And understand this, and I'm gonna tell you this: the last huge bust of 1% was in 2008 when they were basically with the Mongols. That was the last big case. Before that was 1998, which was a huge one with, again. So in 10 years, in those two 10 years, they were building cases. Trust me when I tell you guys right now.
It's another one coming. It's another one coming, huh?
They are building cases right now against every dominant that's out there right now, 1% club. And you know what gave them the pause in the cause, and the reason why they haven't really been fucking with us is because they was trying to go through RICO to get the Mongols patched so that they could take everybody's shit from them. But when that failed, they had to regroup. And now they are going to start infiltrating, and they're going to start putting people in those ranks. And trust me when I tell you guys, they're going to start those indictments, and they're going to start those things. If you got dirt in your fucking house, and if you letting people fucking bring dirt in your house, I don't give a fuck what it is, from being in a state that doesn't allow marijuana and you got motherfuckers smoking weed in your house to whatever else you doing. They are watching. And they got snitches and stoolies and cops and everybody else that's infiltrated those support clubs. And if you're not careful, you're going to allow somebody to get close enough to you, and they're going to destroy your fucking nation.
Well, there it is there, man. There it is there. That's all I can tell you is there it is there, man. Again, I just want to say this. I've never been a fan of we have to support this or we have to wear this in order to exist. I have never been. Me neither. I'm definitely a fan of, hey, I fuck with you guys. I believe in what you're doing. For me, at the time, it was Soul Brothers. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with the Soul Brothers. All chapters, All Nations. I love what they stood for. I love what how they respected us and respected me and the love that they gave me. So it was nothing for me to rock their little patch that that says hey sober. It wasn't a support patch, or I don't know what kind of patch it was, but it had no real meaning. It was no connection. I understood this. I understood that if somebody saw it, I had to answer for what it was for, the whole 9 yards. But
absolutely.
But never have I been.
That was your choice, though.
Yeah, and that was my choice, and that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And never have I been a fan of mixing the two together. It's two different worlds. Okay, it is totally two different worlds. The 1% world and the 99% world. It's two different worlds. It's a level. It's a level that you're trying to play on, but you don't even have the right equipment to play. You feel what I'm saying? You don't even have the rule book to play it, because they're not going to give you everything. They're not going to tell you everything. You're not going to be totally involved and totally connected to everything. They're not going to do that. This is what I'm going to tell you. No club, no nation will ever share all of the business with you if you're not a part of that club or that nation. They just can't do it. So you're not going to have all the information you need to stand on. So you have to be careful when you guys are out here picking these clubs. You have to ask, hey, who are you guys a support club of? And why are we a support club? What was the reason for us being a support club? What is our role as a support club? What are we obligated to do? We've heard a lot of times that, hey, as a support club, you got to go to war first. When it's time to go to war, you guys on the front line. Hopefully they get tired of killing y'all and they ain't gonna get to us. And by then we be done went to a peace treaty. But I'm just saying, we've been told so many different things and so many different things. But you heard it tonight, man. Really, what it is and how it's looked upon from the powers that be when they see it. This is what it means to them. There's no questions. You have made a choice, and you have chose my enemy, and I'm gonna deal with you as such. It ain't no. I just put this on because my club brother said we had to put this on, and I'm not with it. No, you don't get to say that when confronted. All that's out the window when it's confronted.
It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late. So please, when you go to join these MCs and you go to wanting to hang out and you go to wanting to be down, ask these questions. Really ask what is our lines. You feel what I'm saying? And then like Gunn said too, you have to understand you alienate your club when you choose these support patches. Your club has just been alienated. You are not supposed to be at no other non-support club function, period, because you put that nation at risk. You feel what I'm saying? Because now you out here partying with this nation, and you get into it, or they, or whatever, you get into it. Now you got to involve their nation with, and it becomes a big old mess. So these are the things you guys need to understand, and you guys need to know. What you got, Guns?
So, especially where the 99 intermixes with each other. And that's one of the things that a lot of the good clubs that have been out there, the 99 clubs that have been out there to establish themselves, is they have a good working relationship with all the nations, and then all the nations understand that. And that's easy for some of the clubs that have been around for a while. And, like here in North Carolina, there is a good network of 99 clubs that have a great working relationship with, with, what's the name, with all the dominant clubs. And the dominant clubs understand, look, man, this is neutral ground. They not associated, affiliated with anybody, and we all good. And that's the way that it should be. Because ultimately, I am not a fan of mixing 99s and 1% worlds. I've never been a fan of that. I never will be a fan of that. And I think you're setting yourself up for issues and problems that you necessarily don't need. Now, that doesn't say that you can't have individuals that come and by and support you. I mean, even my former nation, man, everybody came by and supported us and hung out with us. But we had no affiliations with anybody. We had nothing with anybody. But they still came by and showed us love. There's no reason whatsoever that clubs can't come by and show you love. There's no reason whatsoever that clubs can't come by and support you. But guess what, man? You can't be a fucking asshole. I'm just saying. You can't be an asshole. So if you're looking at it and you say, okay, we're going to bring 99s around us, you got to change the mentality of what your club has been doing in the past. And that's, maybe that's the feel-good motion or, the new 2000 era where dominance is a little bit different and we're trying to be more, transparent and come through and hang out with us or whatever it is. It is what it is. But if you're going to have that scenario, that situation, you also have to understand is you got to change the way you're doing business on the streets. So you can't just be out there running up on clubs like, man, what the fuck you doing, blah, blah, blah. No, man. You're trying to set yourself or have them understand that, man, look, we can come up and talk to this guy. We can come up and have a conversation with this guy. I can come up and ask this guy a question generally and not have to worry about him snapping or freaking out or going off on me. Once you do that, and once you can establish that, man, it changes everything. And then you realize that you don't need to have 20 support clubs around you because those 20 support clubs is coming fucking with you anyway. And then you don't have that maintenance of worrying about that because man, the fastest way to lose a support club is to have them walk up in a bar somewhere or a club somewhere and have an opposite club, have your rival in the club and all of a sudden, the rival got issues with them, problems with them, and some issues or problems happen, and then all of a sudden they come back and they looking at you like, yo, what you gonna do? And you say, hey, man, that's your problem. Second day you say, yo, that's your problem. Guess what? Your problem, their problem.
Yes.
Just made real fast. It's no longer going to be your problem. And guess where that club's going to go to? They're going to go to the person or go to the club that's going to be able to take them, protect them, and take care of it. But if we're at a situation where we're worried about protecting other clubs and having to have clubs under us for protection, I think we're missing what we have in the community, and we're destroying that in the community because we shouldn't have to worry about clubs worrying about other clubs fucking with them. We as motorcycle enthusiasts, we as motorcycle riders, we should be enjoying this lifestyle, not worrying about if we're going to fucking run into the next club from that club, support club, and somebody's baby's mama's brother on the third. I mean, that's just bullshit.
It is.
We should be worried about fucking riding our motorcycles, brotherhood, fellowship, learning this shit that we're doing right now, and enjoying this life. And that is going to create and bring the next generation of riders into the mix. Ain't nothing worse than me coming. I mean, the reason why I was independent for so long was my uncle's negative and my dad's negative connotations on being in a motorcycle club. I mean, it's the reason why I was independent for so long because I didn't want to deal with the bullshit that they were telling me about. And the bad part about it is the same shit that they were telling me about in 1974, 75 when I was coming up and talking to them is the same bullshit that's going on in fucking 2020. Clubs that are fucking coming up, bullshit arguments, bullshit fights, no camaraderie, no brotherhood. People can't go and enjoy themselves. Going in the fucking parks and got to worry about somebody coming through and blasting up the park because of rival clubs. That's all bullshit, man. It's just simple shit, man. Twos, camaraderie, brotherhood, fellowship. That's simple. We shouldn't be worried about our brothers. We shouldn't be worrying about people fucking telling us, well, you got to be here because this club's going to fuck you up. Like, come on, man. That's just, we're destroying the community. We're destroying our areas if we're worried about that. But that's the dominance, man. We got to get together, too, and have that understanding that, look, man, we all good, man. Y'all do your thing in our area. We do our thing in our area. We see each other. We good on this process, man. Because we're not fighting. This is not the 70s and the 80s, man. We're not fighting over drugs. We're not fighting over territory. We're not slinging dope on the blocks. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not doing it. So, we doing what we doing out here, man. We enjoying ourselves, having a good time. Everybody's got 9 to 5 jobs now. We doing what we doing. We don't have to worry about these blocks no more, man. We ain't got to worry about all these extra shit that we used to worry about in the 70s and 80s when illegal shit was the main source of income, man. We beyond that. So we need to transition, and we got to transition this whole process.
That part right there, man. That part right there. Hear what he just said, man. Again, I speak this all the time, man. Times have changed. It's time to let go the old way, and it's time to understand that, it's just a different era, like he said. Back in the day, maybe to be a 1%er, you had to live off the land. Now, there's, people like he said, they got whole jobs, whole family, kids in colleges, paying mortgages, hell, paying $400, $500 bike notes, and all the rest of this shit. We don't have time for the silly shit. We don't, but yet and still, it's out there. Yet and still, you got those cats that are, feel like they walk around bullying other cats, and they walk around bigger and better than everybody else. And, it just is what it is. But I'm just telling you, the times have changed. A lot of this shit that used to go on is not going to be accepted. One thing I tell every one of my members from FHO, we're good. We're good everywhere we're supposed to be and everywhere we are. However, always understand that if you are getting questioned, then 9 times out of 10, be prepared to handle whatever the situation is, because don't nobody have no business questioning nothing that you're doing. They need to be, handling, mind their own business now, especially when you're not stepping on toes and not bringing no attention and, because that's what it's, they claim, well, man, you bringing attention, you're doing this, you're doing that. But hey, different ball game. Support clubs, support patches. Just know your role. Understand the whole entire format of what you're doing. Understand what it means, and understand what you're connecting yourself to. And there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you choose to do and if that's what you're doing now. But get an understanding of what it is that you're doing when you're out here on this motorcycle set. That's all me and Guns ever wanted you guys to understand, is to have an understanding of what it is. Because when you run into those individuals who eat, shit, breathe, and live this MC life, and they see that patch, they're not going to give a damn about any excuse. They're not going to give a damn about your family. They're not going to give a damn about your kids that you won't see no more. None of that shit. They not going to give a fuck. And they're out there. There are people out there. I promise you that.
Oh, I promise you too. There's a bunch of them out there that motherfuckers ain't got nothing better to do in life, man. And they is not worried about nothing or whatever it is. And the way they look at life and the way they look at this is they'll go to jail. They'll spend the rest of their life in jail for this. And there are people out there, man, that are just, they are. I mean, man, let me tell you, oof. Yeah. I ain't going to get into that one, but I'm going to tell you, I think some monsters. I'm talking about monsters. Motherfuckers that you just go, okay, I'm not even fucking with that dude. And he a brother. I'm talking about just not there, man. And so that's, hopefully you understand that before you put the patch on. But you also have to understand is what you're getting yourself into when you wear the support gear and the support patch. I even say the same thing about I have a real problem with people that put support patches and put support gear on their kids. And not that somebody's going to mess with somebody's kid or mess with somebody's family or whatever it is, but I never liked it. And I see it all the time. I see kids running around with patches and patches of the clubs, and I'm just like, I feel you. I know what you're trying to do. I understand where you at with it. But that's something that you do in the confines of your network, man. It's not something you do on the streets, and it's not something that you have them out wearing, like, in general public. That's not what you do. And it's not saying that they're going to fuck with somebody's kids, but, man, don't put targets on your people.
But if you listen to what I'm trying to tell you, the target has no if you give your kids a vest of an enemy or a shirt of an enemy and they run up on an enemy, it is what it is. I mean, you can't say, oh, well, that was fucked up, that was a kid. No, that kid was wearing like I say, we understand it.
I mean, it's just understanding that support stuff. In some circles, that support stuff it's that serious. And some people say, well, is it really that serious? Motherfucker, it's that serious. it's that serious. And you really got to be careful when you address that and you put that support gear on, because, I mean, like I'm telling you this, I'll tell you this straight up without even a question. I personally knew a kid. I met him. We spent, like I was in California, got a chance to go out there and chop it up with him. Met him, man. He was a good kid. Got a chance to, ride in a little network with him. And he lost his life, man, he wasn't even affiliated, man. Wasn't even patched up. Motherfucker didn't own a motorcycle, man. He was one of those good guys that hung around the club, and he was just trying to make his way through the process and, wearing a support patch, and somebody checked him on it, man.
Wow.
And, he lost his life for it. Wow. So it is what it is, man.
Well, there it is there, ladies and gentlemen. MC 101 every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Every Wednesday night that we can. Again, thank you guys for all supporting it. Make sure that if you're on the Facebook that you apply to be on the page, because there is a criteria to be on the page, and you must respect the rules of the page. Also, again, man, please share these videos. And I hope that these videos enlighten you guys and help you guys understand more about the culture and the lifestyle that you're trying to be a part of. Some of you guys, a lot of you guys, I get this all the time. So it ain't that serious for me. And it may not be. But for some, it's that serious. So understand that. Just because it's not that serious for you, don't mean you're going to get a pass when you run up on that cat that it is that serious for and about. And it just is what it is. So understand this. I love you guys all. My man, Two Guns. We here, MC 101 every Wednesday night. Make sure that you tune in. Make sure you support the channel. Make sure you share the videos and say, hey, man, listen, this is some real stuff for you to listen to. And it's been given to you by a person that's been on all sides of the facet, from independent to the top 5 OMCs to the all facets. And he's giving it to you raw, and he's putting himself out there and taking the chance and giving you the information and giving it to you how it's supposed to be. We don't have nobody doing that. So I definitely want you guys to give this man a big round of applause. Matter of fact, I'm going to give him one now. That's for my man, Two Guns. I appreciate you, sir, for doing this show. And I'm going to say this before I go. To all you other shows, get my name right. That's all I'm saying, man. Get my name right. get my name right.
I mean, I do want to give a shout out, man, the show the other night I got a chance to check out, man. I do, man. I browse in, come in, doing great things, man. Again, it's always going to be perspectives, different perspectives, man. Shout out to the two dominants that was there. Nothing but love and respect for both nations, man. I know people in both nations. Just general information, providing stuff like that, and that's what they out there doing, man. They just trying to give you guys a taste and a touch of what happens in this world, man, and that's what it's all about. And this is, like you said, I mean, like Sel said, man, it's really unprecedented, man, but yeah, we're just trying to give back so you guys kind of get a general understanding of how we're doing business out here, man, and moving forward, man, we just got to keep doing what we're doing, man, and it has to fall back on us getting out here in this lifestyle, man, on tools, loving it, and just having the camaraderie, brotherhood, fellowship, man. That's what it's always about, man.
Well, there it is there, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, man, as always. Guns, I love you, brother. You feel
yeah, man. You take care, bro.
It's always my pleasure. I hope, glad to see you getting back better, man. And don't forget, y'all, March the 18th, me and Guns will be podcasting live, side by side, for Pseudos. But you still on for that, right?
Yeah, I got to check that again because there's something going on, so I got to check that. Okay. But I should be good. Yeah.
All right, well, if everything right, we will be together side by side doing this podcast live. And shout out to my man DJ Dirty Promotions, man, for having me out for that. Also, don't forget, February the 15th, Adam Mac Harley Davidson in Jacksonville. I will be there. FHO family, we will be there on point for the Adam Mac Harley Davidson Black History Month. It is Black History Month, y'all. For me, Black history is everyday history, period. I don't really get into the history. It is what it is. But don't forget that's going down, coming up in about less than 2 weeks. My man Chris Houston, if you have any questions, please hit him up directly, Chris Houston on Facebook, and he can give you all the particulars. Adam Mac Harley Davidson, it's also on their website as well. You can check it out on their website. But that's what it is, man. Again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back on. I should have a special guest in the studio, and then I have another show on my Facebook page. I've been dropping questions, and it's been very interesting to see the answers and the responses. So I'll be answering those questions for you guys as well, man, tomorrow, also sometimes live. But it is what it is, man. We're going to take you out here tonight. My man OG Mike Lowe. Los Pedos MC, man. Appreciate these songs, man. We on, man. Y'all enjoy your night, man.
Nadando con tiburones, pasa la raya, dejo de cisay en tus pulmones, papa baby. Matamos los que chotean, alamos los gatillos y los jacas se menean y vean que esta es la película de miedo. Ríe como juego hasta que bajamos.
Big Cell, FHO's HNIC. Mr. MB everywhere.
Mi nombre en tu boca, te dejo durmiendo en la cama de mi troca. La procama está perforando tu cachete. Hacemos pedazos la serrucha y machete. Rajamos la calavera. Dejo chepoyal de Piparón y la nuera. Mi música está como heroína por la vena. Mafioso desde antes que salió baila morena. La nena conmigo a toda hora. Lo que me conoce sabe, soy perro de Cora. Mamá belga, no ve que la muerte ya está cerca. Perdiste el juego buscando con mi clovelca. En la calle está buscando la salida. Abriste la boca, cometiste suicida. La vida
It's the FHO Live Podcast, where the truth will be told. We promise you that.
Gobernado por diablos, ando encabronado pensando en cómo apartarlos. Mundo retorcido, gobernado por diablos, ando encabronado pensando en cómo apartarlos. Porque sé que todos hablan, yo no hago ni caso, porque aquí todos difaman. Por pasar el rato, porque la vida te enseña a no echar leña al fuego. No habrá quien me detenga con un simple señuelo. El odio eterno, corazón enfermo. El diablo te atrapa, solo buscas venganza. La muerte no entiende de estilos ni razas. Lo que quieren es rajarte y sacarte las entrañas. Víctima o verdugo con un pasado oscuro. La vida me ha enseñado a no fiarme de ningún polvo por ceniza. La historia finaliza, mi mente y alma aún no cicatriza. La vida en los libros, en bandas crecimos y tantas historias de las que aprendimos. Salimos ilesos de juicios mal hechos. Buscarme la vida es mi único reto. Música prohibida, invoca a los demonios. Historias.
God damn. It's Big Cell. What that mouth do besides tell the truth on FHO Podcast Radio.
Amazon, Kila. Me he dado mami negra. Los perros. Luna llena en la casa. Cubierta de sangre mi machete. Desde Madrid hasta Virginia. Sabes que conmigo no mete.